There are several different approaches for panel shortlisting in the system. Panel shortlisting, a long list review, or offline shortlisting. If you haven't used the system before, it's important to have a conversation with the resourcing team to discuss your options and how they can assist you in setting up the system for the approach you want to use. Each vacancy has its own key shortlisting criteria page and team page. You can use these to prepare for panel shortlisting or a long list review. A simple way to access these pages is to look at your list of vacancies and right-click on the vacancy title on the list, selecting key shortlisting criteria, which takes you to this page. It first appears when a vacancy is being requested, and if it isn't initially completed or it needs revising, the details should be finalised before the vacancy is advertised. It's possible for the resourcing team to refine the application form for this role based on the information added here, which can lead to a better candidate experience and less applications which fail to meet the basic criteria. The standard approach we're going to use involves a shorter list of top essential criteria, backed up by additional criteria only if required. These are all free text. The number of further essential criteria is flexible, so the fields provided can be deleted, or additional boxes can be added as per the requirement of the role. Later in the process, the criteria on this page will be presented to the shortlisting panel, along with each candidate's application details, allowing the reviewer to quickly evaluate each candidate against each piece of criteria. The membership of shortlisting panel is managed via the team page, which is accessible via the drop-down arrow menu. The team page shows everyone that's associated with a system task for this role, so if you click Add, you can find your colleagues who should be part of the panel, and then when you add them to the role, the system adds them as a reviewer by default. This means that when the applications are sent to the panel, they'll receive a notification. And when a vacancy closes, resourcing will then forward the candidates to the panel. If a long list review is being used, the process works very closely to panel shortlisting, which requires a key shortlisting criteria to be completed and a panel to be set up via the vacancies team page. The difference with long listing is that when a vacancy closes, resourcing will forward the candidates to the hiring manager rather than to the entire shortlisting panel. The hiring manager will then have the opportunity to view applications before sending them on to the panel. This is done by looking at the application screen associated with the vacancy, which is accessible by right-clicking on the vacancy from the hiring manager's vacancy list screen. The candidates will then be visible in the applications list for the hiring manager to review and make any appropriate decisions. This list can be sorted in any order of any of the columns presented. Right-clicking on a candidate's name brings up the list of screens associated with their application. Quick CV gives an at-a-glance view, and you can navigate between the candidates in the order you sorted the application list with the buttons at the top of the page. This makes it very easy to quickly review the applications, and it allows you to make decisions straight away simply by changing their status. Alternatively, you can navigate back to the applicant list via the quick links and then make bulk changes. In this case, I'll click Select All, then Bulk Status Change, and finally set all applicant statuses to With Reviewers for shortlisting. This sends them onto the shortlisting panel so they can begin their reviews. From this point, the process is exactly the same as regular panel shortlisting, and the system will notify the panel members so that they are aware that they have applications to review. If offline shortlisting is being used, resourcing will send applicants on to the hiring manager in the same manner as in a long list review. But as screening will be conducted outside the system, it won't be necessary for the key shortlisting criteria screen to have been completed or for the panel to have been configured. Instead, the hiring manager can print or email applications, organise shortlisting outside of the system, and subsequently return to update the outcomes via the applications list.